Hi, Greg Flaherty here with Penny Realty. Today I want to talk to you about pets and service animals. So the basic theme for today is that San Diego property managers and landlords must allow these service dogs and support animals unless they threaten the safety or the property of other people. Okay, so let's talk about that in more detail. So in San Diego, tenants have the right to bring these service dogs and support animals, if you will, uh, to live with them in most circumstances, and landlords cannot unreasonably withhold their right to do so. Okay, and they have to make reasonable accommodations for these tenants. So a little technicality is under California law that the service animals and support assistance animals are not considered pets. So that makes a difference. So let's say, for example, here's a common scenario. Tenant comes to the landlord and they have their pet in tow and they have a letter from their doctor saying that they have a support animal. And the landlord responds with, well, no, I'm sorry, we have a no pet policy and I'm not going to accept your pet. Well, at that point, it's not really a pet again per law. It's a support animal. It's treated differently. Okay, so if the landlord goes down that path and insists on denying that pet, that could bring the ire of HUD. HUD is the Federal Office of Housing and Urban Development. And as a landlord, you do not want HUD on your back on this issue. Okay, so what that leads to the logical question then is, when can a landlord again deny a service animal? And again, there's only two scenarios where this can happen. Scenario number one is the animal poses a direct threat to the safety of other people, or number two, it poses a threat to the property of other people. Okay, so a landlord also cannot discriminate here on the basis of the breed, the size of the animal, or the weight of the animal, nor can the landlord discriminate based on speculation or fear of the pet. So let me give you another example. Say a tenant comes to you and they have a pit bull in tow. And pit bull has the medical letter in support of the fact it's a therapy animal. Again, the landlord can't say no to that animal based on fear of the breed of pit bull. There has to be specific history of an attack on people or property or damage to property by that specific pit bull. It can't be by the breed. Okay. So here's another recent case example. There was a tenant in the property since 1993, long-term tenant. And somewhere during the course of that tenancy, the tenant brought a therapy cat. Okay, and they presented to the landlord. Landlord denied. So no, I have a no pet policy. The tenant went out and they got medical letters in support of this therapy cat. The landlord still denied, and then the landlord moved to evict this tenant. At that point, during the potential eviction, HUD, the Federal Office of Housing and Urban Development, got involved, and they said, sorry, we're bringing charges of federal discrimination against you for retaliation, discrimination, civil penalties, and damages. So at this point, for a landlord to settle a case like this, it often takes $100,000 plus in fees and fines for a landlord to get out of this charge from HUD. So it's just not an area that you want to mess with. And then the last question that as a landlord you might ask yourself is, well, certainly I can ask for additional cleaning deposit or an additional security deposit, right? And the answer, unfortunately, for a landlord is no. For a service animal or a therapy animal, you cannot ask for additional security deposits. Okay, I hope that's been helpful. If you have any other questions, give me a call. Greg Flaherty here at Penny Realty. Thanks.